Hello, my name's Richard. I'm a cosplayer, and as you might guess from my appearance, I generally do characters like old Ben Kenobi, Sir Barristan Selmy, Alan Quartermain, the Sean Connery from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Indiana Jones' dad, also Sean Connery, basically old guys with gray beards. But I love the show Stranger Things. I love the character Chief Jim Hopper, and I decided to put together that cosplay and did a lot of research and did a lot of acquiring of things and looked on YouTube and didn't find anything. So I decided to do a series of videos. So this video is the first one. It'll cover the shirt, the pants, the belts, and the boots. And then the second video will be about the hat and I think the holster and the gun. And then the last video will be about other smaller accessories, his wristband and watch and things. I think will be in the third video. Anyway, there's a series of 3 videos. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the look of the Hawkins Police Department is it's based on the Amity Police Department from Jaws. And of course, so it's another one of those 1980s homage things that the Duffer Brothers are fond of. So if you see the Amity Police, Chief Brody wears a khaki uniform. The other officers are in blue. Chief Brody drives a Chevy Blazer with a 2-tone tan paint job, and so does Chief Hopper. And both police departments have a triangular blue patch with a gold, with a kind of yellow gold. And actually even this diamond at the bottom is on the Amity Police if you look it up. So that's to be aware of. And that is why David Harbour read the script and felt strongly that Chief Hopper should wear a hat. And I think he actually wore a hat to the audition. And he tried to sell the Duffer Brothers on it, and they were like, no way, because, and the reason was, of course, is that Chief Brody doesn't wear a hat. And David Harbour won that battle, and now, of course, his hat is one of the most iconic things. It's one of those iconic film hats, maybe not up there with Indiana Jones' hat, but it's somewhere in that conversation. And this video is only going to be about his actual police uniform from Season 1 and Season 2. Season 3 is quite different, and I'm also not going to get into his off-duty civilian clothes. So, starting with the shirt. The good thing about, I realize that you have, over here you have screen accurate, and then over here you have closet cosplay, where you just grab whatever close enough out of the closet. And in this continuum, there's a whole range of things. And myself, I always want to be on the screen accurate end of things. And the only time I deviate from that is when it's just sheer expense, when it's just so expensive, where the screen accurate thing's available, but it's just really expensive, then I might back off from that a bit. Now, the shirt is one of those things where there's no compromise is necessary, because the actual screen accurate shirt costs the same as a not screen accurate shirt. So you might as well get the screen accurate shirt. Now, rather than me going, because a lot of different, now I realize it's different for people in Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and Europe, and so forth. But here in the United States, there are a lot of law enforcement agencies that wear this shirt. Sheriff departments, police departments. This shirt I got off of eBay for about $25, and it came with the Arizona Department of Forestry patches. So anyway, it's the same pattern of shirt. And the easiest way, rather than, because so many different companies make it, is rather than me rattle off a bunch of specific makers. This one is actually made by Flying Cross. You can see the logo there. Rather than rattle off a bunch of specific makers, you can go to any U.S. law enforcement uniform site, and you can search for CHP shirt, or California Highway Patrol shirt. That is one of many agencies, dozens probably, or maybe hundreds of agencies across the U.S. that wear the same shirt. And the color is called silver tan. Now, one thing to be, because there's other tans too, so you want the color called silver tan. Sometimes two separate words, sometimes one word. I was going to show you some of the hallmarks about this shirt is that, of course, like most American uniform shirts, it's got the kind of narrow epaulette, and it's got stitching, kind of a rectangle of stitching with a cross across it. It's very typical American uniform thing. The pockets have scallops, and there are no pleats in the pocket. Now, these come, now you have to be careful because they do make these with a zipper front where the buttons are false. You know, the buttons are just stuck on the placket and there's a hidden zipper. You don't want that because that's not what Hopper's has actual functional buttons. Ditto on the pockets. Hopper's has actual functional buttons and a functional buttonhole. And this didn't come this way actually. This shirt came like, now here is the identical shirt, also made by Flying Cross, but in green. And I just wanted to show you this so you can see how these shirts come. See, the button is just sewn on there, and it's got Velcro at the corners to hold it down. So that's how they come. So I had to take off that button from the flap, sew it to the body, open up that buttonhole, which wasn't, it was stitched but not opened, and then get rid of the Velcro. Now, this shirt comes in 3 weights. This is the middle weight, which they call tropical. Both of these shirts are the middle weight, which they call tropical weight. And I think it's a nice weight. We're here in California. It gets warm at Comic-Cons. I don't want a really hot outfit. So this is ideal. And it still has a nice look and feel. And I got this shirt used. It's been washed many times, worn many times. And it's just soft and extremely comfortable. Now, there is a heavier weight. So this is called the Rayon Polyester Blend Tropical Shirt. You'll see in the U.S. law enforcement catalogs. The heavier shirt is a wool polyester blend, and a lot of the departments will call it their Class A shirt. I'm pretty sure that's what Hopper's is. So if you want to be screen accurate, you'll go for the wool polyester blend. It's heavier. It's this very high quality wool feel to it. Now, what you don't want is the lightest weight, which is 100% polyester. And I've seen those, I felt them, they just, the fabric looks strange, it feels strange, it wouldn't do. And I've also, that lightweight one I've only seen with the zipper front. Now about what's on the shirt, he's got the Hawkins police patch. Now these are widely available on Etsy and eBay. None of them are quite screen accurate, now these are based on the artwork that actually Stranger Things released. And they had stickers with this artwork and so forth and so on. It's not quite how the actual patches are made. There's this little constellation of stars which are all the same size here. In the actual patches, they're actually, I think, 3 subtly different sizes, this group of stars. So it's close, but it's not going to be screen. And I have never seen anybody produce a screen accurate one. Now this patch, you would think this would be easy because it's a U.S. flag patch. Well, actually it isn't a U.S. flag patch. And you're probably saying to yourself, what are you talking about? So here we go. Here's a U.S. flag patch, a regulation, actual U.S. flag. And here's the Hawkins police flag patch. And this is on, not only in Jim Hopper's shirt and his big heavy blue coat, but also the other officers. It's always the same patch. And if you'll notice the difference, on the U.S. flag patch, the blue field rests on this central white stripe. And on the Hawkins flag patch, the blue field comes down one stripe further and rests on a red stripe. I couldn't find these anywhere, so I actually have these made. I did a run of these. Excuse me. Now the other things, the name tag says Hopper, and the badge, the Hawkins police badge says Chief and says number 380. These are Etsy, eBay, a lot of companies sell them, and they're pretty accurate. Now the pen, he always, now season 3, he changes to a different pin. But this pin is another one of those things. We're getting this screen accurate one is easy. Because it comes in this little set. Sorry, I have a cold. It says Kickerland Retro Pins. I don't know if you can see, if it'll focus on the set. And this is one of the sets. Now, you can see the kind of cream colored top. I think he has the white bottom. In the very first episode, he's dressing, and you can see it's, but some people say it's the gray bottom. Well, there's one of those too. You can mix and match the bottoms. And right here is the one with the blue top that he wears in season 3. So it's right there in your same set. Amazon, you can get this. I think it's like $5 or $6. So there is all you need to know about the shirt. Now the undershirt is called a Hanes Henley. And the color is called Natural. It's just kind of this kind of off-white. Hanes Henley 3-button. Of course, Hopper usually has the top button unbuttoned like that. So there we go with the shirt. Now, about the pants. Shirt's easy to find. A lot of places make the shirt. Pants are hard to find. As best I can tell, there are, and these are actual law enforcement pants that I got from a law enforcement uniform site. And not many departments wear these. So it's you have to actually, you know, you're not going to find, these you can find, these shirts, no matter where in the world you are, you can go on eBay, you know, the regular US eBay, and you can pick these up used for $20 or so. Now the pants, not so much. And the pants, now these are made by Flying Cross, the same company who made the shirt. And if you go to the Flying Cross official site and search Command 100% polyester men's pants, SKU 918, you'll come right to these. And these are the exact pants that Hopper wears. They have the flaps on the back pockets. They have these extra wide belt loops. You can also just search, not on the Flying Cross site, but if you just search Flying Cross Command Pants 100% Visa, like the credit card, System 3 polyester, which I have no idea what that is, you'll come to these same pants. So there's the pants. Now, they're $100. They're really comfortable. They're well made. They're $100. If you don't want to do that, a lot of cosplayers use Dickies. And I don't know about other countries, but these are widely available in the U.S. And they're the Dickies 874 Original Fit. They have the same wide belt loops, not quite wide enough. And they don't have the flap on the back pocket. And the problem is the colors. The colors are never... Now, these are the same silver tan as the shirt. And this, as you can see, is a little bit more yellow. And that's, I mean, I've gone into a store. These are work clothes here, right, in the United States. I've gone into a store, and they've had a pile of these same 874 Original Fit Dickies in 3 different colors of khaki. And they're all called the same thing. They're just different runs of the pants or different colors. Now, the next thing are the belts. Now, his belt changes. Here's a season 1 belt. And I just got rubber bands on it so it's easier to display. And I don't know if you can see that kind of distinctive shape of buckle. Now there's a company that makes the law enforcement belts. And so the best way to see exactly what the original real thing should look like, it's called Gould, G-O-U-L-D, Gould and Goodrich. And this is called their B191 shooter's belt, 1.5 inch. And it's black leather with a nickel-plated buckle. Now the buckle really comes shinier, but I took some fine sandpaper and made it rough because it's kind of a satin finish in the show. And also I added these kind of like weathering, these bits of weathering on there. Hopper has those, so I put those on there. So that's a season 1 belt. I've seen identical belts on Amazon. One place called them a 1.5 inch Garrison belt rounded buckle. Well, it's not really all that rounded. And then another place called it Journeyman leather belt. But anyway, go on Gould and Goodrich and look at their B191 shooter's belt, 1.5 inch, and that'll be a Hopper Season 1 belt. And this is my reproduction of Hopper Season 2 belt. Season 2, it's a dark brown, it's a full frame buckle. And once again, if you go into Gould and Goodrich, this is called the B52 pants belt. And this specific buckle is called 125G. Once again, it came really shiny nickel, and I used light sandpaper to dull it. And I actually made this belt from this nice leather that has kind of an antique look. And this is 1.75 inches or 44 millimeters. It's slightly wider. Now they do make a 1.5 inch buckle, but it's square. And if you look at Hopper, it's plain that his buckle is slightly rectangular. So this is the correct 1.75 inch. Now the boots. This is one of those things where doing it screen accurate was just a bit too expensive for me. What he wears are 8-inch Red Wing classic mocks, and they could be either the Red Wing 877 in the color they call brown, which is kind of an orangish ginger. It's almost like this holster color. Or the Red Wing 8830 in the color they call copper. It's slightly darker than this. And either one of those, the costumer darkened them, because the Hopper's boots are darker than either of those models come. Now those are, and when they say 8-inch, they're talking about the height. Now either of those are $300 new. And because I have big feet, I wear like a 14 or 15 shoe. Finding used shoes is tough. So what I did is, these are a lot cheaper. This style of shoe, which they call a moccasin toe, or they call a wedge, because it has this wedge. These are made by a huge number. These are very popular in the United States. If you go into any construction site, a lot of the construction workers will be wearing these. Either the original expensive Red Wings or some of the mini knockoffs that you can get. And these are one of the knockoffs. The company's called Gravel Gear. These are $60. And they're too light. They came in this kind of ginger color, like the same color as the Red Wing 877s, a hair darker. And then I darkened them. So the color is really good for the show. Now, one thing to know about the Red Wing boots, the originals, is they have eyelets that go all the way up. And these boots, like a lot of these boots they have what's called speed hooks up there. So these 3 pairs, they were speed hooks. I took them off, and I put in eyelets, matching eyelets, and that only took like half an hour. It's surprisingly easy to remove speed hooks and put in eyelets. So with the darkening and the eyelets all the way up, these are reasonably accurate shoe for well under $100, less than a third of what the actual brand would cost. So we're done here, and then the second video will go into the hat, the holster, and the revolvers. He has different revolvers, season 1 and 2. You'll find all about that in the second video.